My name is Jamie, and I'm doing, there's an awful lot of you out there, by the way. My name is Jamie, and I'm doing the 5-minute power talk this morning. Thank you. I'm going to talk about faith this morning because I live a life of faith. And for me, faith is knowing that there is a God without knowing how I know that there is a God. Knowing that there is a God without any evidence or proof that there is a God. Now, and I say that because intellectually I don't believe that there's a God. I spent a bunch of years trying to find God. I looked everywhere, couldn't find God. You know, in the cabinets, under the bed, everywhere. Couldn't find God. But when I live a life of faith, when I know that there's a God at a cellular level, then my life is just extraordinary. And my faith is anchored in knowing that there is a God and that God is present all the time. And the vehicle that I use to anchor my faith is prayer. And my prayer is made up of three. I'm a simple guy, so I only have 3 affirmations to make up my prayer. And my affirmations are: I am whole, perfect, and complete, right here and right now, just the way I am and just the way I'm not. I am in my right and perfect place at all time. And last but not least, in the midst of all things is the divine presence of God, guiding me, caring and supporting me each and every step of the way. Now it's easy to have faith. You know, I've always said that it's easy to have faith when things are going good, and I have a really good life, really. I have a wonderful life. I have a wonderful relationship. But you know what happens? Life gets messy every once in a while, and stuff creeps up. And you know the list as well as I do: illness, divorce, death. You fill in the blanks. A few years ago, I had the opportunity to put my faith to the test. I don't know that I want to call it that, but I got an opportunity to really look at whether or not I really do live a life of faith when I was diagnosed with cancer. And it moves me emotionally because I never lost sight of the fact that in the midst of all things is divine presence of God, caring for me and guiding me each and every step of the way. So I undertook this what I call wonderful journey, and I'm cancer-free, by the way, now. But I undertook this journey with a bunch of wonderful people, a bunch of wonderful doctors, and a bunch of wonderful nurses, truly divine expressions of God. And I wasn't attached to the outcome. I mean, I was open to the possibility of being cured of my cancer, of not having cancer present in my life anymore. And I was also open to the possibility of transition and everything in between. And I was open to those possibilities because I knew that it would have its right and perfect outcome, that God was taking care of me and I didn't have to manage this myself. So, but the process, you know, you take medication and the radiation wears you down, and I'm the kind of guy, I've got to have my 8 or 10 hours of sleep, and I was getting 3 or 4 hours a night, and I was tired, and I was sleepy, and I couldn't think clearly, and I was cranky. I was so cranky that my wife bought me a T-shirt that said the 8th dwarf, and on the back it said cranky. And so I was talking to my brother on the phone one day. He's a minister in Florida, and I was telling him how uncomfortable I was at that point, 6 or 7 months into the process, how cranky I was and complaining. And he said to me, "Listen to me. There's not one moment of the day when God is not present in your life. God is present all the time. God's got your back. And that was the perfect message for me to hear in that moment. And that's the message that I want to leave you with today. There is not one moment of the day when God is not present in your life. God is present all the time. God's got your back, and mine too. Thank you.
Isn't that a sweet thing to follow? Jamie Campos. Do you know when I started here 15 years, actually before I started here, 15 and a half years ago, I was working at Home Office in Los Angeles, our denominational headquarters. I was a church official. I know, it's funny. And the Center for Spiritual Living San Jose at 1195 Clark Street was candidating their next minister. They were looking to hire the next minister, and so they were dealing with my office. And so when I'd called this center to find out how things were going or what they would need, I always spoke to their administrator, a man named Jamie Campos. He's been here longer than I have, and he lets me know about that periodically. You know, in 15 years, I've watched Jamie. He's consistent. Every once in a while, he has a little flare, and when his flare happens, it's a New York flare. It's real. I mean, when it happens, everybody at the table sort of pushes back just for a minute, and then he leans in and pulls us all back together with him. It's stunning. He's consistent. He is a great model for practical spirituality. Jamie, it's really, really good to have you finally up here.